All right, so you hear about Main Street, you hear about competition callers, that famous Stuttgart deal. Now that's total control to me. People hear that and they're like, a duck doesn't do that. No, they don't. But people that do that, the Rick Dunns, the John Stevens, the Jim Ronquest, the Johnny Mahfouz, the Mike McLemores of the world, and I can name a ton more, Trey Crawford, you just keep going down the line. Those guys can kill ducks.
Absolutely.
That's control of a duck call. But there's a difference between a Main Street competition hail call and a hunting hail call.
Yep.
We will have instruction soon on competition calling. Right now, we're worried about hunting mallard ducks, hunting puddle ducks.
Right.
What does a hunting hail call sound like, and what does it signify? What does it mean to the hunter trying to get those ducks' attention?
So a hunting style hail call is basically backing off of a Main Street hail. You're not going to get that high pitch.
Or the ring.
You're going to add that rasp to it, that duckiness to that call, you know. And what it's meant to is just like you touched on earlier, as far as in a previous episode, is that when your kid is going across the lawn and they're fixing to run in the street, hey, get over here, don't run the street. And you're trying to grab their attention real quick. And a lot of people say, well, hunting style hail doesn't sound necessarily like a duck. The duck don't really string that out or push that call like that. But what's happening is when them ducks fly over, they're just getting bits and pieces of that. So they might get, or they might get, you know, and so they're not getting that full length of the note. And so all you're doing is it's an attention grabber. You're trying to grab
the other thing
attention.
about that is that the ducks in the front might hear one part of it, where the ducks in the middle hear the next, and the ducks at the end hear a different part. So you don't know which of those ducks is going to go, whoa, and start that freaking deep dive down into the decoy.
Exactly, because it takes one.
It's not always the first duck out that does it.
Right.
But what you're saying is that hail call is meant for volume and reach, to expand your reach, to expand your audience, right? You're trying to get out there and say, hey, look, we're down here, and that's how it all starts, man.
Right.
That's how those ducks go, and they let all that air out, their wings are back, their Superman capes on, and they're just diving down before they start getting in a race and working the trees and whatever.
Exactly.
Just takes one, right? And then it turns into 200.
Yeah.
So let me hear what a hunting hail call sounds like.
I would categorize it into two different hail calls, hunting style hails. And what I mean by that is you got a hunting style hail that you just really lean on it and just and then you have one that you go burst of air. So I'm gonna do them right here. So the first thing I'm gonna do, if ducks are going over and I gotta yell them and trying to get attention, and I've got all my group with me, I'm gonna throw this hail call out like this. And I'll keep repeating that. Keep on repeating that. As they start coming down, I'll start getting really aggressive with them. So I'm kind of going back and forth right there, and I'm going hunting style hail. I'm going to that what we kind of call an angry duck.
Yeah.
You know,
You're
get
mad.
on down here.
Come on.
Let's eat.
The water's fine. Come on.
Or I want to rest.
You know what I noticed what you're doing, what you're not doing actually? And what I love about Jargon Calls is that you can find it so easy. A lot of guys that try that note or that hunting hail, they pick it up and they get that cheat note, that step ladder note. And they don't really trust themselves to get on.
Yep.
You're just picking up and going. You're not going. Ducks don't do that. You can get away with it.
Right.
But to be that perfectionist, to be dead on, you don't do that. You pick it up, you find it, you're there. And in competition calling, they don't go, hey judges, this is for score, and then you get to go. Find it. You got to have. That's what your warm up's for. Judge, this is warm up. You find it. The last thing that all competition callers do is they hit that hail note. They find it. They get locked into position. They shake the head. Judges, this is for score, and they're right on it. They don't get a cheater note, and you shouldn't get a cheater note with the ducks either. You got to tell yourself, I'm not getting a participation war. I'm not cutting any corners here. You find it, you stand on it, and you hit it, and that's what you're doing. You set the call down.
The best thing to do is set your call down. Once you get it, get it down. You get your quack down, you get your cadence, and you're trying to do a hail call. Back in the day, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to do a hail call. Hail call is powerful.
I love the way that sounded
just now. So basically what I'm doing actually in the call is I'm taking a boss hen and I'm extending that boss hen out, believe it or not. So pick it up straight off the counter. Hit it every time.
Wait a minute. I'll make sure that that's not a cheater call. Right there's a complete, this is a That is an icebreaker. I don't want an
I can
icebreaker.
do an icebreaker too.
Wait, I just want. This is a small talk. You were just blowing. Hit that small talk right there. Wow. Hit that loud mouth. See, you found it though. You didn't get a cheat note. You missed it on the first one.
Well, this call right here is
it.
actually, you know, it's more of a call to where you're doing that angry duck.
Oh, that's sick. Bigger bore, angry duck. A lot more air moving through it.
So that's why at the beginning I was trying to find where it was at. But once I find it, it's done deal.
It's done deal.
But again, you can.
But again, you're not cheating to find it. You hammered it, you missed it, you found it right away, and then you were on it.
And you can do it on an icebreaker. Let me see.
Double
it's going to
read.
sound a little bit more finier on an icebreaker. See right there?
Yeah, oh yeah. Run some changes on that. I love it. Now that's Ducky Boy. Hit it one more time on a small talk. This is the hunting hail call. We're going to end this tip. All right, find it right here. Hit this one right here. Find it in a hurry. Go. Oh, that is so
You just
deadly.
pick them up.
And that's when they're out there 600, 700 yards and you're getting their attention, trying to break down high ducks, get them started, maybe a migration day. They can't see in those woods. They can't see in those woods. There's no spinning wings allowed on public hunting woods in Arkansas. Duck hunting in Arkansas is different because there's not a lot of visual. If you're in a rice check in a rice field, they can see your spread, but most people go to Arkansas to hunt in the flooded timber. Those ducks up above, they can't see down there. It's just dark. It's dark. Some of those slits are that big, you know, they're just finding a little hole to get into where those ducks are. Ducks might hit in a hole and swim over here. They'll be 100 yards from where those ducks landed.
Right.
And these ducks are trying to land where they're at, making all the ruckus. When they're up above, they're coming to that sound. That's why the most proficient duck callers in the world are from Arkansas. I know that there's been some in Iowa, Louisiana, California, a few. The most proficient, best duck callers in the world are from the state of Arkansas because you have to cut your teeth on an audio base level instead of visual where the decoys aren't seen until the very end when the ducks are right above the trees when they're only 30 yards up there. But when they start at a mile up there and you bring them through that, what you just did on that hunting hill.
Yeah, and I want to throw something
so
in
awesome.
that, you know, basically before a call goes out of the shop, there's basically 4 things I test. And that's hail. I want that hail to be perfect. I want the guys to be able to do it, you know. And then what I'll do is I'll actually test fee call, hiccup, and a quack. I want you to be able to get quiet on quack. Okay?
Okay.
Hiccup. And then fee call. And I know if I can accomplish all those on that call is perfect, that read is good, and it's ready to rock and roll.
I love it, dude. Nice work. That's the hunting hail call.
Hunting style hail.
Hunting style hail. H-A-I-L. What a great tip. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, man.